this is her icebreaker for tonight, so I'm really looking forward to that. Gloria.
Fellow Toastmasters. Lolo Chopsticks is what they called me when I was a little girl. I earned that name because I was so skinny and had legs up to my eyebrows. Well, we can all see that that's changed a bit. I was a good kid. I had boundless energy. I learned from my mistakes. I learned from other people's mistakes. I was often called goody two-shoes because of that. Also because I had strong faith in Christ and tried to live by my faith. I come from a family of 6 siblings, and I was one of those who happened to inherit the great singing voices that my mother and father both had. When I graduated from high school and told my mom that I wanted to be a singer, she said, "That's not sweetie, but you really need to get some work experience at a profession or some kind of vocation before you try to go into that, because 10 or 15 years down the line, in case you don't make it in show business, no employer is going to want to hear that you never had a job." So, being the good kid that I was, I took my mom's advice, and I learned from my father's experience, who had tried to be an entertainer but didn't make it. And I went to beauty culture school, and I went to business college so that I could learn skills that I would be able to learn, be able to use as a way to get a job and make a good living, but wouldn't waste my time in case I did make it in show business, which I was fully intended to do. But after school I went to work, and I still wanted to sing, but I had no idea how to get into show business. Being who I was, my strong faith in God, I began to pray and ask God if that was what He intended me to do, and if so, to help me, show me the way. Well, I went out to, well, the answer would come actually from going to help a friend who needed a babysitter for her for a couple of weeks. And shortly thereafter, I found myself in a nightclub with my brother, was listening to the band, and someone went up on the stage and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, there's a young lady in the audience. She has a wonderful voice. Her name is Gloria, and if you give her a great round of applause, perhaps you can get her to sing." He was looking right at me, and first I was afraid I was petrified. But I wasn't about to give up that opportunity, so I went up, I sang the song, left the stage with a standing ovation, after which the band came over to me and said that the club owner was my friend's neighbor. He'd heard me singing her apartment while I was babysitting. He'd heard her call my name as I left the building one day, and he came and told the band about me because they were having problems with a singer that was not reliable. They asked me to perform with them, and I started my career the following night. Yet again, afraid, petrified, but I did it. Worked with them around the New York area, went from one band to another, working all around the country, until I found myself at a club in New York City, where I was quote-unquote discovered by a producer from Columbia Records, who eventually took me to Clive Davis, who signed me to a recording contract. Through record company politics, I ended up on another record label, Polydor Records, and there I had what I thought was a great singing recording career, until they wrote me a letter after about 5 years and told me they were not going to renew my contract. I was devastated. I didn't know how to go about getting contract from another company. I didn't know what I was going to do. And by then, I had really gotten into show business. I was partying and meeting all kinds of showbiz types, and got way, way away from my faith. And I don't think it even crossed my mind to pray about it. Well, I was performing one night in a theater in New York, the Beacon Theater, and I fell on stage. It didn't seem like such a bad accident when it happened, but the next morning I woke up paralyzed from the waist down. I, of course, ended up in hospital and was there for about 4 months, during which I had surgery, and God had an opportunity to get my attention. I began to read the Bible, I began to pray, and I was asking God, what am I going to do? I had received this letter saying they weren't going to renew my contract. I didn't know what to do. I left the hospital still with no direction, still not knowing what I was going to do, but fully assured in my faith that God was going to fix it, it was going to be all right. A couple of months at home, I got another letter from the record company that I thought was my last royalty check, but turned out to be a letter from the new president of the record company who wanted me to record again. I went out to California to meet the producers who were going to give me the second song that I was going to record. They showed me the song, and I'm sitting there reading it on a piece of paper, and tears are running down my eyes because I'm relating to this song on so many levels. I am recognizing that this song is not only a great song, a timeless lyric that everyone will be able to relate to, but was the answer to my prayer to God and was going to be the cornerstone of the rest of my career. You guessed it, I will survive. I've had the opportunity, blessing of singing this song in more than 80 countries. It has become the mantra of people of every nationality, race, creed, color, and age group. And it has taught me, above all, that as long as I know how to love and have faith in Christ and myself, I will survive.